tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Tailgate Show. Kind of got to start things off. I mean, I guess talking Bears is the same thing. It's not the happiest conversation in the world lately, but loss of JD, man, like that for me, he was always like my go-to for Bears stuff, especially before I got heavily involved in Twitter. I think like a lot of us, man, it was that JD update, especially on Waddle and Sylvie, and like he was a big part of how we got our information on the team we love, and he was awesome at it.
He was the first one I read, and he kept ESPN gave him the platform, so it was like free. So if you were looking for Bears insider stuff and you didn't have a lot of cash, so that's the guy you went to, and he did a good job. I mean, he did a great job.
He did, man, and it's just like we didn't know what was going on. We had heard that he was battling something not too long ago, like as fans.
Right.
Yeah,
like the reporters did know, and they were super close and had a relationship with him. But you kind of, as a fan, develop like when you like somebody as a fan of a team, like, and this was our guy, so it kind of hit hard because it hit us like suddenly. We were just like, damn, JD, like we had no clue what was going on behind the scenes. He kept it very quiet. So, but to be his, like, I'm 43, my son's 11.
I'm 44, bro.
It hit me like a brick, though. I'm like, my son's 11 years old. You know what I mean? It's just like I had a hard time processing it when his wife died not too long ago.
Right.
I was like, my God, like a single father like that, man. I can't imagine being a single dad. It's tough. Like,
right.
And then for it's just the whole dynamic. The kid seeing that happen to his mom, and then
having to see his dad too.
And man, that shout out to everybody that donated.
Absolutely.
Like, it's you see how many people this guy touched too. Like, the media on that level is so cutthroat, and like you hear the podcast, Hogan Johns did an awesome one.
Yeah,
it's just like the reach this guy had and the positive opinion that everybody cross-platform, cross-network, like this guy was an amazing dude. Like, and we didn't. I'm glad we got to hear all that, because really the most important thing when you do go is how you're remembered. And this guy's like held up very high, man. It's just it's just sad.
It's kind of an amazing thing, we talk about friendships that develop over time, of people that we don't really ever see every day. I talk to you guys. I literally message you guys every day. You guys are like my friends, like for real, legit my friends.
Oh,
and I can't imagine. Well, you're an asshole, but
yeah, I hear what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
100%.
It also puts a human side to the reporters too. You realize how close that reporting pool was. Hub got me when I was watching Hoag's podcast about Jeff. I mean, you kind of feel like, sometimes you're the outsider, you're maybe not as cool or whatever. And then a guy like JD makes you feel welcome. And I hope that we as a podcast crew, I think we try to make people feel welcome. I know you guys have always made me feel welcome. So that's where it really kind of hit me, and good for people actually showing up, people dishing out.
Pat Finley shared that story on Hogan John's the pod there, where like JD would just have him over and like just talk about life, not just football. Like, this is all these guys do. He was just that dude, man. He just connected with everybody. Some people said he made everybody feel like they were close to him. He's just a special guy, and it just sucks, man. Biscuits, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Dickerson's definitely one of the first guys that really, I'm a little bit younger than you guys, so I kind of grew up with JD, and y'all know I'm a big 1,000 guy every day. I'm on the phone a lot during the day for my job, and whenever JD's segment would come on, I'd instantly hang up the phone. Or if I had calls coming through for, a contract offer, it was like, boom, ignore. I'm calling you back after JD's segment. And you don't ever meet the guy, you don't know the guy, but you hear someone's voice with you in the car or the phone every single day for not every day, but for a lot of days for the better part of 10 years, you do kind of feel like, he's with you in some part every day of your life. And the thing that got me was Waddle, man. When I don't know if you guys heard that when Waddle got on there and was, talking about his final days, it was just like, what a man. Like, never once complained. And even when he knew it was the end, he said, I think Waddle said he told him, like anything else, we persevere. And I don't know if I could be that person in that moment, for a guy who could have really complained and really kind of said, why me? Listening to 1000, going through the whole thing with his wife. They kind of covered that. You heard what he had to do, deal with that. It's just,
and he came back from it.
And he came back strong. And he had to, for Parker too. And that's a real man right there. And obviously you see the outpouring of support. And the thing that really got me too was like some of these people, and I'm going to butcher the names, but, talked about how he gave them an opportunity to come up in the business and forget the lady's name on ESPN. She wrote that letter, and that kind of brought a tear to my eye. Like, he was a very selfless guy. And my heart just really goes out to Parker to experience what he's experienced in 2 years it's very tough. But JD is, I think you said it best, Diddy. It's about how you're remembered. And I think any of us would be lucky if we're remembered in the regard that he's been remembered.
Yeah. And not to, I mean, I know we're always digging on Nagy, but the way you could see that he actually, the way he touched an NFL coach too.
That was classy of him.
It was, but you could tell they've developed a strong relationship. Like, to be able to do that with an NFL head coach.
Right.
Yeah.
It takes a special person. Nagy does talk a lot, but he's still very closed off. We still don't really know who Matt Nagy is.
And good on the players too. There were a couple of players that sent out stuff today and talked to, or today and yesterday, and sent condolences. Andy Dalton, just to name one, but to take time to recognize that press corps is hurting pretty bad.
And I've always looked up to media members because for me, like, ESPN was like a dream job that I never would ever attain. But like, to be able to talk sports for a living, I've always looked up to these guys and how they craft what they do, and the Dan Patricks, and you just like, I hold them in high regard for what they do, man. They bring it. They feed us.
Yeah, that's how we get our news.
When it's more than just the game, you're following this team all year long. Yeah. Like, these are your go-to guys, and JD was one of those guys. Even with it, like, so
I know
dude's a class act, and he was a pro's pro.
Yeah. The Von McClure thing too blew me away. Like, Von McClure had passed away about a year ago from cancer as well. I believe it was cancer. And they were doing like a benefit thing for Von McClure, and JD was sick at that point, knew he was sick at that point, and he still went and did that, never mentioned a single thing, like just a total selfless human being.
Right. I think anybody in the podcast game with any sense of what really is, we owe a debt of gratitude to those press people, because we get reputable press people are where you get your best news at. We can deduce a little bit, we can make hypotheses, but without those people, we're just guys talking shit, which we do a good job of anyway. But it's just hats off to JD, dude. Without you, we're gonna be a little bit lost.
That's what's crazy too, is like, what was it, like a week and a half ago, you saw a couple tweets that said, hey, keep JD in your hearts. He needs all the prayers he can get. And it was like, the hell's going on? The fact he kept that thing so private, and then to hop on Twitter the other day and to see that news, it was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, Really? Just
Sad,
one of the more very surprising ones. Just very, very sad.
Wasn't the only one this week either.
And the GoFundMe, I mean, it's up over 900,000 now for his son. I'm hoping that the young man just gets all the support he needs to get through this. Comes through this okay. Comes through this stronger, man. Like the impact that I can't even imagine having at 11 years old to process this.
Well, you're a father.
I
No.
am, but like
It is
I also remember being 11 years old, and I knew I was like that. Damn, man, like that's your home is as a child. That's your one constant.
Yeah, it's like my dad would take me to my games, just like they were talking about. He'd take me to my little league games, and
That's
after work, and he was tired, but he did it. And
yeah, it's just, but like when you're a kid, even though like we all had different upbringings, but like regardless of your situation, when you're home, that's like where you can really just be yourself and chill. And the world's stressful enough with what's going on with this pandemic, man. Like,
right.
I just hope he comes through strong and has a really good support system. The money's going to be awesome for him when they're ready to give it to him. But the most important thing, man, I just hope that the structure is in place for him just to thrive.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And then there's one more.
Oh, yeah. Wild day for us, man.
That was a crazy day too. It's like John Madden too. I was like,
Yeah.
I sent a message into the chat. I was like, dude, I can't take any more sad news. I can't. So I logged off Twitter for like the rest of that day.
It's just the way that the news cycle came with it.
Right.
Like John,
another unexpected one too.
especially that special on. We haven't heard from Madden in forever. Seems like, and then Fox ran that special on Christmas Day, and I actually watched it. I recorded it, watched it, but I'm just like, and then I heard that news. I'm like, damn, like it was like his like swan song, basically.
Right.
The timing was very, very weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you think about how important that guy was. This might be a little bit old for you. I mean, I grew up with Summerall and Madden calling the big games, Their voice is like, if they're calling your game, you're in a big ass game 9 times out of 10. So
Plus the video game.
Absolutely. He might be the most influential NFL person since the merger. If you think about it, talking about
that's a valid
pushing the product forward of the NFL.
I mean, you learned rosters from Madden. You're playing other teams, or you play with other teams. You're like, oh, like, and they made the players fairly legit for the most part, because you started learning about, like, you're playing another team and the linebacker just flies in on you. You're like, who's that? Like,
right.
You do. It did teach us more about the game, whether we want to admit it or not.
A lot of people started out learning basic coverages from Madden.
The playbooks, man. You have to make the decisions. It just took your fandom to a whole nother level.
Absolutely.
Shout out in the chat, by the way, Heidi, Queen of Bears Twitter. What's up?
Heidi?
Hi, Heidi.
Yeah.
Heidi has made it.
Oh, we should have had the egg on tonight if Heidi was going to be here. I didn't.
Dude, whoa. Reach out to Source Egg, see if he wants to come on.
It's kind of a dick. But...
By the way, Heidi, I know now. I won't reveal, but I know Heidi. Okay. Secret's out.
Oh boy. Anyway,
yeah, I was dead wrong. But go ahead.
Nah, man. Madden was just another. It was just it just sucked. It was a shitty day. Like once you found that out, you're listening to ESPN 1000 and Waddle breaking down, and then the Madden news hits on top of it all. It's just like, damn.
Yeah. Has there been a more influential person in their respective sport that has gone totally off the radar after retirement? Like, Jerry, you kind of hit it earlier when you said you hadn't heard from him in a while. Like, I couldn't even tell you the last time I heard from John Madden or about John Madden before that special had aired. I mean, that guy was like a ghost.
Yeah. He's that dude, though, when he makes a decision. Like, he walked away from coaching 10 years in.
He still has he had the highest winning percentage of all time.
Were they coming off that crazy reception against the Steelers playoff game too? I believe.
I'm not sure.
It was the playoff loss to the Steelers.
You sound confident about that. I'm going to go ahead and say that's correct.
I could have sworn that's what they said in the documentary, but he just basically walked away from the game at like 43 or 44 years old as a head coach. And he was done. And he was like, I don't really, I'll do the media thing. He did some commercials and he tried out his first game. He was really good at it. And when he walked away, he walked away. I respect that because that's retirement.
Yeah.
There's a guy in an RV, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I missed that. I definitely missed that at one point in time.
The Madden Cruiser, whenever they did the freaking player of the game on the Madden Cruiser. Yeah.
And you got to see his badass turkey in there.
Turducken.
It was always undercooked, but it was always nice.
Of course.
You just wonder if you ever treated it like a bang bus.
Careful. Wow.
Oh, Heidi, thanks for joining us.
He's a high profile dude. Let's not act like if you're making that much dough and you have your own luxury bus going town to town. Come on, man.
We segue a perfectly good tribute to John Madden.
Hey, if that's how if he just chose to be that dude, like, good for him. I'm just saying, like,
there's no Garner Minshew. Relax.
If I was a millionaire and had a bus, though, just driving me around everywhere.
Gardner Minshew, Jer's definitely like a classy guy. He's the buying flowers, taking putt golfing, and like a Kenny Chesney concert afterwards.
Oh, why would you? Kenny Chesney.
Dude, the thing with Madden, though, like I'm joking around about the bus thing, but the whole thing with him, like the fact that he was that different. He was that dude that he'd rather just drive around the country. Like that's kind of.
I don't blame him. If I was going to do it, that's what I do.
He was just unique, man. He did things like his way.
Didn't he have like a massive fear of flying? I think I read.
He had a bad flight, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hit the bell, boys.
Freezing glare. Overcooked, that's perfect for biscuits. What's up, Freezing Glare? He knows me well.
So, we got to play the Giants.
Speaking of well done, here's two teams that are completely well done.
Cooked.
You want to play the QB guessing game, I guess? Like who's going to start for each team? There's a Fromm Glennon battle going on in New Jersey.
So Joe Judge said today that it's likely we're going to see both of them.
Oh, yeah.
He's not doing that.
That's what he's doing. I don't know, man. Who scares you more, Mike Glennon or Jake State Fromm?
He's just it's just coach speak. He'll go in with if Glennon gets hurt, he'll probably go in with Glennon. Glennon gets hurt, Fromm comes in.
Well, they both played a little bit last week, right?
Yeah, or Glennon's sucking the joint up.
Which is likely.
I
think I'd rather
Fromm versus Fields the whole time.
Me too.
Storyline. That's the guy that beat him, basically held him from being the starter in Georgia, so he had to transfer. For people that
would be
really know that, but
well, the only thing really on the line in this game is draft order. You know, there's a chance that we could keep them out of the top 10 if we beat them.
Well, the Giants pick right now currently sits at 5, and our pick sits at 8.
I'm not laughing at you, Jer. I'm laughing at the subject. Like
I know it's
sad. Top 10 with our pick that we don't have. Like that's what we're.
That's we moved up, though. I mean, it's the fact that had to be made.
The season isn't going good if we're having this discussion of it being a point of interest in this game. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, I don't disagree.
If
we've only got 2 more of these.
We didn't lose a top 10 pick. We lost the 11.
So that's a good question for you two. Would you rather have Fields in the current situation with no first-round draft pick, or knowing what you know now, would you rather have currently as it stands the 8th overall pick with no Justin Fields? And I'll shoot it to you two.
I'd take Fields.
Yeah, I'll take Fields, especially with the fact that like until I see him with whatever changes are going to be made, like he's owed that. This old line, I mean,
so this offense.
Yeah.
I mean, this offense is not great. And it's not because of – it is because of players, but it's not. It's more of put in a bad position.
It's on Justin, too. I mean, there is – he needs to be quicker with shit. Like,
I don't disagree.
Getting rid of the ball because he has the arm strength to compensate for being late.
Yeah.
But the touch factor on his throws is changed because he has to fire it in. And he is a quarterback, Jared. We did see that. The kid has touch.
Yeah, he does.
When he has
does
time
with
to
a
use it. It's
nice
just
ball.
our O-line's not giving him the time. We don't have an Ohio State setup here.
No.
Like,
What would you choose, Biscuits?
I would definitely still take Fields.
I mean, the draft prospects coming out as far as the QB position
if
right now.
good.
Kinda,
Justin would have stayed, he'd be the first quarterback taken. There's not even a freaking question.
Absolutely.
Correct. And I'm a pace hater, but it's the one time that I think his strategy last year was actually smart. Trade up, get Fields, followed up with 2 mammoth physical tackles. I can't even knock the guy for that one.
All right, your guys' heads are going to explode, but
Oh, God.
taking a chance on the QB you think is going to be the guy is the right move, even when it doesn't work, and it's not always going to work. Like, you can look back at, I remember, geez, freaking Josh Allen, people shit on him.
Yep.
Yeah. Very rough rookie year.
Rosen was supposed to be the most freaking pro ready.
That dude was really dealt a raw hand, though. I mean, there was some different circumstances there, but
yeah, I'm just even with our situation with Mahomes and Watson, it's hard. And I'm not Pace. I can't stand Pace, so I'm not really. I guess it's coming off like in defense. I want him gone, but at the same time, man,
I mean, you look at a team like
you got a top quarterback, you can't really write him off yet.
Look at a team like Tennessee, who's had to draft multiple quarterbacks and then finally had to trade for Tannehill to get it
And
right.
Overpay.
Yep.
I want to say get it right, get it competitive. Like, I'm not a big fan of his.
So there's still a chance that, and I hate to think that, but there's still a chance that it ain't right now.
I mean, I think it's fair to question that right now for sure.
But that doesn't stop you. I mean, you got to build around him. You've got to bring talent in. You've got to draft well. You have to play the right players, things of that nature. Something that I don't think we've seen with this team yet this season.
I'm okay, honestly, letting him have his developmental rookie year next year if we get the right guy in here. Like, he'll have a lot of shit to work on tape. So, like, I'm okay with having to hit the reset button on him. I think he's that kind of dude that's worth that. There's a lot to like there too. They just need a coach that can come in here and build around him.
I think it plays into the idea that you had early in the season too, Diddy, in the offseason after we drafted him is you're going to see mistakes. Maybe we didn't think it was going to be at this point, this far into the season, but it was all about development, getting those mistakes out now. That way he is more ready for the year 2 leap, hopefully with maybe a lighter division in Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, the timing on shit, that's correctable. The turnovers, that's correctable.
Yeah.
It's correctable though. What I'm saying, these aren't things that are like, oh fuck. Now the release, we need to
speed that up.
Well, we need to it's either try to mess with his release on top of those things or try to actually put the people in front of him to allow him to release comfortably the way he likes to. Yeah. You need more time, and it's hard to build an O-line that can hold up on a consistent basis that long.
Minnesota's been trying to do it since they've gotten Kirk Cousins, and it's not really worked out. I mean, they've had some success, but it's not.
He's very Stafford-esque. He puts up really big numbers. It's just big moments.
I'm just saying that's a comp.
We'd kill for that.
There's not.
Oh,
no,
God.
I'm talking about offensive line production. Their offensive line's not great. Well, their offensive line's not stellar.
No, it's not.
I mean, if you're in Green Bay, at least you could hold.
But I also think with that throwing motion too, once his decision-making clock speeds up, I think that becomes less of an issue.
Right.
It's not ideal, but if he's faster to the read, faster making the throw, I think it changes that whole conversation just a tad.
You saw the difference it made with Big Dick Nick. For what it's been worth, his reads were fast, and he put players in good positions. That comes with time.
He chased Daniel'd it. He looked like a veteran, solid veteran that came in, and I mean, He has a little bit of that it factor when shit gets real, like on the line. He stays very freaking calm.
Yeah. The big drive. I mean, up until that big drive, he only had 125 yards passing. Was kind of dinking, dunking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad strategy coming into the game. That's what you expect out of a guy who's been in the NFL for 10 years, as opposed to a guy who's not even at a full 16, 17 starts yet.
Demir Bird bailed his ass out.
Oh, dude, big time. Yeah. I mean, credit to Nick escaping the pocket. I really didn't expect him to get that far outside of the right tackle and make that throw. But
what do you think about that drive? It all started with effort. There's effort plays by players making effort.
Mooney not going down easy.
Mooney not going down easy. I fed him even though he sucked, and we hate him sometimes. Covering up that fumble, that's a big play, you know?
No.
But Demir Bird, the flashes he's shown him, like, why aren't we seeing more of it?
He's small. I don't know where you put him.
Though.
I mean, he put up a decent production there in New England. And granted, New England is maybe a bad comp for us because we're not on their level in both coaching and development. But look at Rashad Perryman goes down to Tampa Bay. You see it all the time with this coaching staff. Thomas Graham coming in. It's just a constant revolving cycle of decisions where older vets or guys who are not as productive are starting over some of these younger guys. Like, why can't this coaching staff eye this talent on the bench?
Thomas Graham.
Yeah, Thomas Graham's a big one.
Because they want to be right about their development.
But what are you developing a Fetty at this point for, though?
He's not.
What year is he in?
Sorry.
I believe this is his 6th or 7th season because he spent 4, I think a full 4 in Seattle. So Heidi in the chat, I think it's a good question for you two. Do you think there is something not correctable in Fields? It's a good question.
Go for it, Biscuits. It's so good you're going to answer first.
Okay. Do I think there is something not correctable in Fields? I would say yes, but I also don't think it's a bad thing, and I think it's the touchdown to check down mentality. I don't think you're ever going to see him in a game do what Nick Foles does, which is dumping it off 20 times in the flats. I don't know, man. I think he's going to be a guy that always looks to take the big play. You're going to live with some of the mistakes with him, but I think that's okay because this is an offense for the better part of my entire life that has never really been explosive outside of maybe 2006 with Berrien and Grossman. There was some connection there with Knox and Cutler, some with Marshall and Jeffrey. But other than that, I struggled with, Marcus Robinson back in the day. But, I don't even think it's so much of a negative. I just think he's a guy that wants to make big plays, and I don't think you take that out of a player.
My rebuttal to what you said about the dinks and dunks. When are they available?
Take what the offense gives you. I mean,
when are we doing that? When are we trying to do that with our scheme, though?
I think it's fair to say, look at that game last week and say, okay, he clearly they've called a different game for Foles than they did Justin, 110%. But I would be a little bit bordering on a truther if I didn't say that there have been throws, the underneath throws that he could have taken that were available, but once again goes for the bigger play downfield, which I don't totally hate, again, because I don't think this is an offense that can dink and dunk its way down the field.
But you could run a simple offense and not try to complicate things and not have to design runs for Justin, right? You run a simple offense. Because if you watch this shit, the offensive line is being asked to do some stupid shit, like unnecessary switches, and they could just block the guy in front of them and just simplify shit.
The JT video broke that down a little bit too, didn't it?
It did, and like simplify it for everybody and coach to your talent. The system is too complicated. You're trying to do too much bullshit and gimmicky shifting and run your offense. Shit breaks down. Let the Fields can use his legs. So that's where you can take advantage when you're not expecting it. I just think that I would just like to see them go simple.
I think the one thing that I'm worried about not being coached out of him is carrying the ball. whenever he breaks the pocket. I think I'm worried about that. I know it can be coached, but I don't know. I don't know if you can coach that out. Sometimes you think about Tiki Barber.
I'll say Tiki.
Josh Allen had a lot of fumbles when he first started. Lamar Jackson fumbles a lot, bro, and people don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, true.
When you're putting up 40,
I just worry about that.
touchdowns.
So that's what I'm saying is that's something that
I understand, but ball security for young quarterbacks is a thing. Like I think it could definitely be coached out.
And hopefully he starts reading that defense and getting those blitz pickups.
Does it make you feel? Maybe I'm crazy. Have a lot of his fumbles occurred outside the pocket? Would you say? Just off the top of your head.
When he did that design run against Minnesota, like that, people didn't pick up their blocks. Like he should have been ghost. There was nobody on the guy that hit him.
Yeah, but guys make plays. That's the NFL.
But he had the receivers basically go out on like an RPO type thing.
Right.
They were going out for they weren't going out to block. They were going out to throw that trickery shit, and their defender didn't go with them because it's we're too obvious with the way we run shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Like all this shifting, the defense. You're not. That's what I mean. Like, oh, should let him read shit better. They're not really adjusting. We haven't posed a threat.
No. I know he's fumbled a few times in the pocket, though. You know, trying to get away, and he's been blindsided a few times, and
it's rookie shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I'm not so
comes out of him.
Right, but it's rookie shit. So like rookie shit is okay because it's normal for a rookie. Now, if we're talking like major overhaul things, I just don't think we are. I think they're correctable.
I agree, but
you don't think he's never had a season like this in his career. You don't think he's going to be watching all of his shit and working like a motherfucker all off season? Like we know that's how he's built.
Yeah. True, but you think about most successful college quarterbacks, most of them haven't had seasons like this, and some of them don't survive it.
I think that's the one thing I'm not worried about with him, though, is a confidence.
I know it's just
as a Bears fan, it's always in the back of your mind. Let's not act like it's not. It's stored away, and it peeks its ugly head out once in a while, like. We've been through so much at QB, sure, but like I'm not letting it overtake my thought process with him at this point. We need to see another season with a new coach.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. Which, by all suggestions, is coming.
Who knows, man? What if we go on another 3-game tear?
Oh, it's coming.
And the McCaskey gets soft on him again, and they're like, "We'll just change Ted and see. We really like Ryan.
Changing Ted might be
Ryan and Matt."
That would appease the fan base.
No.
They'd be like, we kept Ryan and Ted. Or Ryan and Matt, but we fired Ted. The fans would be like, okay.
I don't know, bro.
I think it's a start, but I don't think you're going to calm down all the flames going on in the fan base with just those. I mean, especially if Nagy's back. I think that if I had to guess out of the three, I would say the pulse is probably still the strongest somehow on Ryan Pace, but I think that's only because of how inept Nagy and Ted are.
Well, there was a bunch of shit where everybody's like, well, why haven't they fired him yet? Why haven't they fired him yet? And I think we've talked about it a few times, and we'll just do it here to cover it.
What about the log? He came out and said, there have been chatter. My sources in Bears land have informed me they're really looking into things in depth, and I'm pretty happy with some of the names I've heard. Have a good Monday.
What names do you think get him excited?
There are rumors abound of
is
Ryan
Leslie
Day's
Frazier
names back in.
Ryan Day.
Ryan Day's been rumored.
It was Weeder wrote the article on Frazier. Sorry, Jake. Go ahead.
No, I mean, you saw some on Twitter. Ryan Day was trending, so I clicked on it to see what was going on. Evidently, Texas recruits are saying that.
Shocker.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, that's something. Texas recruiters are saying that he's building a staff for the NFL and leaving Ohio State. It's like, I don't see that, but
You sent me the tweet, and it was from a dude with like 28 followers, bro.
I don't know.
In Jared's defense, I will say, after you said that, I went to the profile, but I also searched. There were other people saying it with more than 28 followers. There was one with 46 followers who was saying it.
Fuck off.
No, I'm joking. There was a couple big accounts that had kind of taken that and said something more.
Yeah, but if Texas is truly telling that to recruits, like the recruits basically like, wait, so like NFL scouts even look at the coaches at Ohio State? That's where I want to be. If they're paid attention to that much, like Texas goes through coaches like I haven't followed, but it seems like they're. Is
any prospect, high school prospect, going, oh, they're looking at Ryan Day? I think I should maybe look into this Ohio State program. I mean,
they're always
Ohio State's been they've been churning out talent forever.
Yeah, obviously.
The kids are probably like, who is the coach at Ohio State? Like, does it matter?
No, but there's one name that
it could be though. I mean, it's completely valid. You know,
it's complete speculation.
It's funny though, because I was looking into it after Jay told me, and there's some Ohio State like fans that don't like the dude.
Yeah, the one video you sent. Yeah, everything's whack.
Everything's whack.
Your watch, your hair, you're like, I'm like, damn.
The way you don't smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I don't know if I want. I'm still on the McDaniels and Wolf.
What about Daboll though?
I'd be happy with Daboll, I guess, because I mean, like, I think Daboll's the one that got McDaniels to New England. Like, he was old school, but
his resume that you covered in a previous pod was impressive.
Yeah,
Daboll's.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's learned from two of the best coaches in football history, in Belichick and Saban. I mean, that you can't.
Sure.
There's a pedigree there. It's not just like Andy Reid's towel boy for a year turned realtor for Andy Reid turned OC for 3 games.
That was kind of you think about that. That's such a stretch.
Yeah, it's like laser calling plays.
Pew pew.
All right, Bill, call up your Wildcat. That's your one play for the game. God.
I'd rather have Daboll than Kellen Moore, though. Just based on that track record alone.
Well, I don't understand why people like Kellen Moore. Dak Prescott works with whoever is there. He worked with Garrett. McCarthy being an offensive head coach, it's not like he doesn't have input.
Yeah,
I don't know. And like even Leftwich, like Tom Brady, bro.
Talent on both those teams. Yeah,
the Jags started their little search, didn't they? How'd that work out?
Making Tom Brady work initially was impressive. But now he's way too established to take credit for making him work. I'll just say that. It's like Manning and Gase. Like, you made Peyton Manning successful. Congrats.
I think that's the kindest thing you've ever said about Tom Brady on this pod and in the thread. That's
he's just a weird dude, man. I've never been able to like even like appreciate his personality. I just think he's a dick. So
that's a shame.
The way I've seen him walk out, like the LeBron shit, where he just walk off the field when he loses a big game and not even like acknowledge the other quarterback. Like he's just a kind of a dick.
Right.
That's not taken away from him. He's one of the best of all time. If not, you can argue he's the best of all time at his position. I'm not taking that away from him. I just think he's an asshole. I think him and Rodgers are the biggest pricks in the world. So,
agreed.
Yeah, one's a winner and one desires to be great. The other's just a dick.
There's just a dick.
Yeah, I'm a dude. He's
just busting his chops.
He's one of the best of all time. I'm never going to argue. I'm not going to be that stupid about it. I just
he's definitely the best of all time for sure. I agree.
It's hard to argue with how protected quarterbacks are nowadays. You put some of the
and
talent,
that's that we're done with that.
No, I don't mind having the discussion. It's a very hard argument because how many of these quarterbacks that we grew up watching would have thrived if they were protected?
Can you imagine if that
fair argument?
Could you imagine if the 06 Bears had a quarterback like that?
Dude, in this league, like I've said it before.
You talking
it's
dynasty, bro.
Jerry, you put Dan
Yeah.
Marino, a young Dan Marino, in today's NFL.
Oh my God.
That's fair.
That arm talent, bro.
He's one of the few, we've talked about this in the chat and stuff before, about players that transcend time.
Yeah.
Marino's one. Like, we talk about it in basketball. If Reggie and Ray were allowed to sit back and chuck threes, can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, there's some players that would cross over in an argument. A lot of the time, there
right.
isn't.
Dan Marino is definitely one of them.
Yeah, Dan was crazy, but
not Mike Glennon.
God, yeah. So it's. I hope if freaking.
This is the Giants preview, and we haven't even talked Giants yet.
If Glennon is back there, I want Hicks playing, and I hope he just gets his shots in. Man, he does not like
coming.
You remember him shoving him on he shoved him on the sideline, right?
Yep, put his shoulder right into him, the old forearm shiver. It's like, get the fuck off my field. It's like, yeah,
and
boy.
That Giants O-line, oh boy. It's like,
bad.
I feel bad for Glennon. Like, yeah, Fromm will probably be in pretty.
Remember, everybody, there was a bunch of buzz about Hernandez. Everybody's, we love Hernandez as a guard. You can get him late. How'd that work out? Not so well.
I think the only offensive lineman that's really playing well right now is Andrew Thomas.
I'd really have to. I haven't watched any tape
He's
on
only
these dudes.
Stats and gravy. He's only given up 1 sack and 483 snaps this year. Second year.
What
Played
position?
Tackle.
Oh boy.
So
Robert Quinn.
They've had guys retire. They're
COVID's hit them. I mean, they might be giving snaps to Isaiah Wilson at tackle. If you know who Isaiah Wilson is, he was drafted first round. Tennessee flamed out after 2 games, I think.
Oh yeah, because
Then he went down to Miami. Lasted 2 weeks. They cut him. He's been on the Giants practice squad, and although Solder is coming back, it looks like this week from COVID, Wilson might get a few snaps. So that shows you how bad they are at the line right now.
Yeah, I don't think they're firing their coach though, because Jones wasn't his guy, right?
Yeah, that would have been.
Was Daniel Jones his guy though?
Oh, Daniel Jones. I'm sorry. I thought you meant the. I was thinking of the tackle. Sorry.
No,
no. Daniel Jones was not his guy.
Right. So it's kind of. I mean, they're down to playing like.
It was Gettleman's guy, but it wasn't Judge's guy.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of parallels between what the Giants are and where we're at.
It's different. It's a whole different animal, but they're
similar.
No, it's not. Not organizationally, it's not. But like the thing is that we're both offenses. Yes, Jerry, I agree. We're both offenses that haven't found our identity under the current coach.
Mm-hmm.
They're all over the place with it. Go ahead.
No, I was sorry. I was saying bye to Heidi in the chat.
Oh,
my bad.
Sorry, Heidi. They're both offenses that haven't found their identity. They're hard to.
Right.
It's just there's just nothing there. But the Giants, as an organization, they'll go through these spurts, right? But every so often they're in a freaking contention in their division, and they'll make a Super Bowl.
Right.
I mean, let's go back to '85 and look at the Giants and look at the Bears. You know what I mean? They've like this season is just like we're used to this shit. There, it's kind of like this sucks.
Yeah. No, product on the field, I agree with Jerry. It is very reminiscent of where we're at with them. But to Diddy's point,
we could very much be in the same doldrums as we talked about also with signing a running back.
I'm just saying, as a fan base, we have it a lot worse.
I think I trust the Giants
I still agree.
Ownership to right the ship way before I trust our ownership too. So I think that's a super fair point, Diddy.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I understand, Jared. Currently, yes, if we're talking the two teams, I think we have more. I think we have a better defense.
Yeah,
a much better defense.
What about it, stats and gravy? Where does their defense rank versus ours?
Oh, you want the hot stats already, huh?
Yeah, we're 44 minutes in. Yes,
like you're supposed to, like you're supposed to just have them on speed dial.
this edible here.
I'll get. Yeah, let me. I'm saying, man, give my man a
some
minute.
time.
Give my man a minute. Like we didn't prep him for that one.
Is that
Yeah,
shit written in
I
braille?
can't even get the outro right. Like, you got to give me a heads up on this shit. So the Giants defense ranks 21st in points, 23rd in yards. Their passing defense ranks 18th. Their rushing defense ranks 26th.
Ooh,
Not good.
not good. Not
So
good.
yeah, it's slightly ahead of them in
The stats back me up. I love the stats.
yards, and we're right there with them in points allowed.
Right on.
Do
So-
you have a DVOA on that? Oh.
You know, I don't use DVOA actually. No DVOA and no PFF stats.
Damn
No.
it.
I don't even have a DVD. What are we talking about?
Man, biscuits, you came a little weak with that. I thought we were gonna get really
All right, so all right.
so
No,
deep.
here we go.
I'm
I
gonna
wanted
throw
to
it back. I'm gonna throw it back.
I
to
wanna
a
get
previous
so-
week because I know
Previous
you
week.
really, really like this segment, Diddy. And this was story time between the Giants and Bears. Week 12, gentlemen. 1974 was the year. The 2-9 Giants were hosting the 3-8 Bears.
And did he left? And he's gone. He's like,
Jer,
"Fuck this."
Jer, full screen him.
No, don't full screen me.
Give him the biscuits, bro. Give him all. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
You can't even see my eyes right now, people. So the year was 1974, and
tough year.
tough year, but same problem. It was a horrific day for quarterback play. Go shocker. Craig Morton of the Giants went 9 of 26 for 95 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Typical Bears stat line in 2021. While Bobby Douglas went for 5 for 12 for 73 yards, also rushed for 66 yards and a touchdown.
Nice.
And can you all tell me who kicked the game-winning field goal for the Bears to win 16-13?
No.
Well,
Okay.
if you guessed Miro Roeder, you are correct. That's been your story time.
Oh, well, thank you for that, biscuits.
Thanks for those hot stats there, Biscuits. Ah, good job, brother.
No,
Yeah,
word
can you
from-
give me an Adam Abdallah old-time baseball guy voice, please?
No, word from our sponsors.
Who's sponsoring the show this week?
HMD Studios,
HMD.
HMD
All right.
Productions, yeah, worldwide.
Nice.
And if I
So
can give you
20
one more stat, gentlemen, I'm sorry. One
Oh,
more, Jer,
please,
and
please
then
do.
I'll let
Please
you
do.
all digest this.
Mm.
Because this goes back to Jer's point about this being very similar right now. Going back to
Was it a
quarterback.
gummy? Was it a gummy tonight, dog?
Oh, dude, it was 2. Let me tell you, really throwing me for a loop tonight. I'll be honest.
So mention the gummy company, and that will be our sponsor tonight.
Oh man, I don't even remember who the hell it is.
Those are the sponsors we need.
We got them from Maine. They're really good. But so okay, the New York Giants thing has gone off. Boys. Y'all
But think
fucked
about
up.
it. I mean, this show, the way we do our thing, like that's the sponsor we need.
What, is Business Diddy gonna get on that and
We're
get
just gonna call it We're just gonna call it Gummy Bears.
Yeah, because like I'll get free
Oh,
samples.
That's
Oh,
actually
shit.
genius, Chair. That's actually really
Shit,
good, Chair. I'm not
bro.
gonna lie. You
Big
can-
brain working.
And this has been a The Tailgate Show business meeting inside. That should be on the
Oh
Patreon end.
shit! Damn, we're flowing now. That's a
going through
good
business.
idea.
Now,
We're
what
having-
was your stat? Get
Whoa! Hold on. Now I feel like we're on this awesome new like insider preview TV show of a tailgate board meeting.
Like
Like, I need to hear more about this.
sponsorships.
All right. So the stat: the New York Giants quarterbacks have combined for 14 touchdowns and 16 interceptions.
I like that.
The exact same as the Chicago Bears quarterbacks combined.
Wow.
14 touchdowns, 16 interceptions.
Fucking defenders are wide open.
Maybe there's more truth to what Jer's saying in the parallels between the two teams.
There is. Jones not playing, and then you got I think Tony and Galloway have been injured. Like I'm not making excuses for them, but like it's the Giants. Like as an organization, they'll figure it out.
Bro, hey, Rob lost 10 pounds. We're good.
Yeah, that's real now. Like
That's real now.
No,
feel
because like I was telling Ill Will on Twitter, like when you lose your sense of smell and taste, like your eating habits change. You don't have the cravings, which is you do lose the weight quickly. Like because I was drinking more water, I was eating a little healthier because I didn't really care about the taste of anything. You can't. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So I get the weight loss. I don't. It sucks, man. COVID sucks. Even when you're vaccinated. I don't know his status, but it's no fun.
He's not.
Like so the 10 pounds. Like that's what happens. It sucks. Now if he wasn't vaccinated, like you don't feel right for weeks.
No,
I know some people that have had it unvaccinated, and your body, it takes a while for you to feel back 100%.
Unfortunately, I know some people that have had it vaccinated and ain't here.
Yeah, like you're able to like go back to work and sure, but like you're off. You know what I mean? Like you're not fully you for like a couple of weeks. Just like tired, more tired than normal. Like your body has it beats you up a little bit. Like,
yeah, I mean, our injury report looks like we've got a lot of people coming back, which is good.
Yeah.
Question is,
a lot of people are asymptomatic too. So, but
right.
if it does hit you like that, it's pretty powerful shit, man.
Jason Peters was a limited participant. Do you play him back at that tackle spot? Or do you let Tevin roll out if he's ready?
If he's hurt and Peters can go, why risk it for the biscuit?
Oh.
Jerry, is your question if both are healthy?
Yeah, both are healthy. What is the logical decision that an NFL coach should make? Let's go with that way.
Well, from that perspective, it's Tevin Jenkins for sure.
Agree.
Yeah, I think I was one all year that said don't rush him back if he's not ready to play. I would be just fine with Peters playing all 17 games, and Diddy said, to his credit, no shot that he lasts all year long. And at that point, then you play him. So I think you just stick with what it is right now. What they should have done last week, which is bench Fetty and play Borum. Jenkins and Borum should be your two tackles.
They didn't bench Fetty, though.
That's what I'm saying. They should have benched Fetty and started Borum. If I said that
Well,
backwards, I'm sorry.
True. Yeah, I got you. I mean, youth has to be served at some points. I don't know. It's kind of a big win if we can get it.
Elaborate.
I mean,
I want to hear this. Full screen them.
Full screen them. Yeah, big win. This is breaking news.
It could be a big win. I mean,
Cheers.
as far as the draft thing goes.
Go big screen, big fella with your big win. We want to.
Yeah, man. Come on.
No, we're good. Nobody wants to see that. That's reserved for Biscuits territory.
I didn't think anyone wanted to see that either, but you did.
And I can't control it from here, or I would.
I know.
I would have so much fun with this shit. I need to figure it out.
Anyway.
But no, elaborate a little bit, Jer.
It's just with it can build momentum. You've seen this team in the past where, you get some momentum going into the next season. It helps. You get your quarterback going, you get your running game going, you got something that you can build off of.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, I'll go ahead.
Woo!
There you go, boys.
Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
This is Jer's segment of
Anyway,
big win.
You can build momentum for your next season. It's huge. I mean, you think about the Devin Aromishidu touchdown against Minnesota that built momentum into the next season. But you got to get the right people in there for the momentum. If you follow what I'm saying, we've got 32 free agents. So
What did Aroma should do after that?
nothing, but the team did.
You're giving credit to Aroma should do catching a ball, translating into.
I'm giving credit to a team
from December to
building
September.
Momentum.
That one catch.
I think he was just trying to reference the game and the season.
That game,
I'm not mistaken, Jer.
It matters. Games matter.
They
could have rolled over and died against Seattle. They didn't.
You think it matters from December to September?
It can.
I'd say in a way. I mean, so, Jer, if your perspective is, I think it matters momentum-wise for some of these young guys who will be pieces and valuable pieces here to start the season next year, I'd 100% agree with Jer on that one.
2017, bro.
If you see good things on tape from your young guys, that's positive. That means they're coming along, right?
Right.
I don't know how. If they can hold on to that momentum from usually what is December till the start of the season, the next September, but these guys can move on from a shit performance in 1 week. I don't know. I don't know how long they really hold on to the momentum side of it. I understand what you're saying from the player evaluation side of it. It allows you to prepare, and us as fans, it's momentum more for us than I think it is the players.
Right.
It gives us the warm and fuzzies more than it does. I mean, every season's brand new.
Like the last 2 years, there was no momentum coming into the season where you felt like we backed in. But you think about 2017 coming into 2018. When we were at 2017, I think we all thought we had something maybe.
Yeah, if it ends well, I get that. You have a more positive attitude going out. You're correct on that. I'm just taking it.
And the offense, say your offense picks up, your rookie quarterback looks better, your rookie tackles start looking better. You get more rush on the defensive side from younger players.
You keep your coach because things have turned around so well.
No, you don't.
That is the one scary thought. But I guess maybe I'm confusing momentum with development. So putting more positive snaps out on the field for these last 2 weeks heading into next year, as opposed to Tevin Jenkins being flagged 6 times in his last game and not playing well. So maybe I'm looking at it from like a progression type of standpoint.
And I agree with both you guys. It's just I was taking it to a whole nother level with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going in September like, oh man, remember that big win against the Giants in January of last year?
Especially when 2/3 of them ain't gonna be here.
It's more devil's advocate on this for me. Like I do agree with what you guys are saying, but there's that other side of it. I don't know. I don't.
Absolutely.
No. We have to have a player on. Maybe we'll have DJ on. Ask him how much momentum. Because it's always cool to get that player's perspective. No, we had DJ Moore, man. We had him on before the draft, and he broke down the player's perspective of the combine. It was those experiences. Like I wonder how players view that. And I mean, even if a player wasn't the best bear of all time, you can still get that perspective just having a guy that did it for real. So absolutely. I don't know why you zoomed in my ugly ass, but
DJ busted y'all's chops about a former quarterback, right?
Not really busted it. Just gave honest evaluation.
Yep.
He's like,
he was right.
He's like, you get the playbook in April, bro.
Which is another thing that worries me.
But Jared, they weren't. He didn't have a fair shake at it.
True, you are correct.
They babied him along, and then somewhere along the line, Nagy was basically told to put him in.
I mean, I think there's also a difference too. Oh my God, is that Vartek back? I also think there's a difference between knowing your playbook and then applying it in live action when defenses are showing you different fronts and coverages and disguising things. All of a sudden, knowing your playbook only gets you to a certain point until you start seeing that live fast a certain amount of times.
I agree, man. I just want to see us be right for once on a quarterback. So I'm not giving up on the shit. It had the whole team as a team. This isn't just on Justin.
No, absolutely not.
It's just not. And until we see otherwise from Mitch, we're not going to find out how much of it was Nagy either. Like, I'm not off the fence with that either. I don't think Mitch will ever become what Justin could become.
Correct.
Right.
You know
His
what I
ceiling
mean?
is
Much
his ceiling
higher.
is way higher than Tim.
Much higher. But I think Mitch could be serviceable who knows? Who knows? If you simplified the fuck out of your offense, he's a perfect backup.
Get ready, Cleveland.
He'll stick in the league for 10, 12 years, injuries
Yeah,
aside.
he'll win you games.
Yeah, I almost am interested in seeing what he's like without Nagy for like a full clip. And I don't want that for Bills fans, but
I'm honestly scared to see that.
I'm not. I don't think it's going to be great. I think he could be Brian Hoyer-esque. But that's sometimes for some teams, if you're structured correctly, that's winning football.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
You got a good running game. Cleveland makes sense.
From a financial standpoint, it does. You wouldn't have to
Yep.
pay him top
let's
dog money.
Let's talk about the rest. Let's get some predictions out for this game, and then we're going to talk about something you brought up before we came on.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Is there any player that concerns you on defense?
Nope.
Not really.
Nope.
The corner. What's his name? He played A-Rob really good in the.
Xavier McKinney?
No, not that guy. He played A-Rob really good the year you guys went and saw him, I think.
Aziz Ajulari, and I hope I pronounced that correctly, has 8 sacks. Like he's that dude from Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like rookie, and he's beasting in his own way. They're just like, I think to kind of change direction a little bit, like this defense is very vulnerable on the outside. So this is like a time where I'd like to see Khalil Herbert have more carries as a backup.
No.
Because I think he has the burst to be able to take advantage of that.
The 26th ranked defense, you would think that would be something that they would do, but
this is a game we have to run and run and run.
Yeah, the Russian defense 26, absolutely. Leonard Williams, I mean, he's a good player, but that's about it up front.
Bradbury.
I would like to see Fields play because I think this is a game where the run can actually set up the pass. But if there ever were a game to see him, I think this is a game where he could really flourish because this is the Giants are pretty bad. I mean,
we're pretty bad.
Oh, absolutely. But even to I just
no, for sure. This is the one week I'm going in like optimistic that this is a winnable game.
The thing that worries me the most about this game is on their offensive side, and it's Saquon, who is questionable, I guess.
So
our run defense is not going to be great without Hicks.
You remember Ron Dane?
I do remember Ron Dane.
And
Big Ron,
remember Ron? But Ron, like, he was a big dude that liked to dance a lot before he hit the hole.
Right.
He wasn't fast enough. Saquon's dancing a lot. And I'm not comparing the two running styles because Saquon can be elite in this league. I just think he's not 100%.
He's not.
I agree.
But
and their line doesn't give him much of a chance either.
No, and he's dancing, so it's not working. He has to hit the hole, and like he's just not there physically, I don't think. Which sucks because I think he's a special talent, 100% healthy. It's going to be tough, man. His injuries have been tough to run the way he was accustomed to before getting hurt.
They are really banged up. Saquon's questionable. John Ross questionable. Kadarius Toney questionable. Darius Slayton questionable. Rudolph questionable.
Can I throw a tiny bit of shade? New York media, fuck off, man. Like, Saquon,
dude.
About blowing your ACL in Soldier Field. Do you want to burn it down and shit? Like,
piss on it. The guy said, "Do you want to piss on it?"
It's just like he's like, no.
I think AAM covered that was a like very, very well done fake video. Apparently, maybe. I think it's up for debate, but I think
I watched the interview though. He did mention, do you have any worry about going back to the place where you hurt yourself?
Did he? Wow. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
NFL players don't give a shit about that.
No, but that was just like a stupid media question. Like I'm just saying, like sometimes we complain about our media. Like sometimes, and then you hear shit like that. Look, did you hear the Belichick question?
Belichick, yeah, I was about to say that. Yes.
You asking Bill Belichick for a New Year's resolution after an L? Like, are you shitting me? Like, wow. Like, if we would burn this fucker down, dude, if we heard some media member do that in one of our press conferences.
Do you think she asked him that with the expectation that there was a good chance he might go like off the rails on her?
Somebody got
She would get
fired
her
for
sound
letting
bite.
her in that room. Are you kidding me? Belichick's like, who vetted the press today? Somebody got somebody's head spun, bro. Like, Bill's not that cat, man. Like
Any
when
score
when you
predictions?
win like he wins, you can be the biggest pompous asshole you want to be, and he's all right, but sometimes he just like he's brutal to the media.
Yeah. So my guy to watch on offense, I think, is Kadarius Toney if he plays. Guy who, in limited capacity this year, has been electric with the ball in his hands against a defense that has struggled to tackle in the secondary. So get him loose out in the open field. That's who concerns me. Saquon, definitely not healthy. I think Booker, I would go so far to say, has looked better this year, and that's why you don't pay top 5 money to him.
Oh, that's right. That's why we're going to be in that
Segue.
And just to reassure us for our shitty situation we usually are in at tight end, like Ingram's a guy that I thought would be much better at tight end.
Yes, agreed.
quarterback matters.
Yeah, I mean,
matters. He's also been banged up this year too, quite a bit.
The tight end we've always been wanting here because of the Kansas City system is next level elite type tight end, and they're hard to come by.
Yeah,
they're unicorns.
True.
Yeah.
And it's just, man, and the dude, the guy from the Niners, their tight end,
Kittle.
He's a Bears fan. Like it's like, of course
he is.
Can you
Same
imagine
draft
him?
that we took Adam Shaheen.
Dude, the way he plays in Chicago, my God,
he'd be a god.
I'm not like a, I watch college prospects going up into the draft, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I know 100% what the fuck I'm looking at.
Yes,
but
you are. You gotta play the game, man.
Well, I just don't know how you can watch Adam Shaheen and then watch George Kittle there at Iowa and somehow come away more impressed by Adam fucking Shaheen.
How dare you expose your vulnerabilities in this hardcore world that is podcasting?
Hey, Biscuit is Biscuit.
Biscuit's got a doughy side.
I mean, where else do you get this level of humanity? Like, we're not pretending we're something we're not.
Right.
I'm just saying, we're fans and we're cool with that.
But when I'm right, I'll tell you.
On letterhead. So you guys have any score predictions for this game?
Yeah.
We're favored Biscuit stats and Biscuit's line.
Favored by 6.
Can I just interject
right now?
Really quick, gentlemen? The all-time series, the Bears are 35-24-2 against the Giants.
Ooh. Look at that. I got my Biscuit going. What a stats and Diddy.
You like that?
I like that.
I have more.
Dude,
yeah, dude,
you gotta
please.
do it in that voice. Go for it.
Come on. Yeah, you got to do that voice though. Only
being from around here. No, they're the New Jersey Giants and the New Jersey Jets. They play in New Jersey. People actually don't mind calling them New York. Buffalo is the only New York team.
Oh, here we go.
They play in the state. That would be like the Bears playing out of state. I mean, God forbid they actually go to Arlington. People are acting up, right? I'm saying
that they would move. There was an uproar when they talked about going to Gary.
Oh God, like that's what I'm saying. That's the level. Yes, Jersey's close to Manhattan, but it's New Jersey. It's the same fucking property the New Jersey Nets played.
Yep.
The same freaking parking lot. Whatever. New Jersey Giants. Giants are feeling like Jets fans, and
the Maryland football team too.
Giants fans when they're good are kind of assholes too. So
Well, New York people in general kind of.
It's not
assholes.
it's New
Kinda
York though. Like
northeast.
catching
Pretty
a
much
game in New York.
northeast.
I've been to Yankee games with Red Sox stuff on. They give you shit, right? But it's not like there wasn't a lot. I didn't have any problems. I'll just put it that way. And that's a pretty big rivalry. And like you go to Giant Stadium too, the fans are pretty cool with you. Like I didn't have Eagle shit on, but like as far as Bears fans, we're both like old school organizations. I think there's usually mutual respect for the Bears fans when it's not a rival.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we're not one of those teams that like people have respect for us and kind of feel bad for us. So
We've reached Brown
Pity.
territory.
They have pity on our souls. That's awesome.
we have
All
history and pity, yeah.
New York Knicks fans are the worst in the chat. Freezing glare.
What?
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. I think Knicks fans are just so pissed off because of the level of ineptitude they've reached under James Dolan here.
You know what though? They need in New York City. They need a team that isn't good because like when they win, they're so obnoxious and like to have them win at everything. Like I'm not that far from New York City, so I get the vibe of Boston fans and New York fans, and they're both like relentless with it.
But you know, if the Bears won, do you know how utterly fucking annoying all of us would be?
Oh, it would be off the chart. It'd be beautiful.
I'd be walking around with my biscuit out everywhere. Super Bowl champs. We'd be so annoying.
I'd be emotional as hell, man. I mean, I remember when the Rockets won their championship in the 90s. Like, I followed Hakeem his whole career. It took a while, you know, and like when they finally did it, like, and I've been waiting longer as a Bears fan. So I don't even know, man. Like, it would take me a minute to like even like catch up with reality that it happened. Like, it'd be insane, man. That's what we're hoping.
I would go to Grant Park.
Yeah,
I would make that trip.
Yeah, good for you. I went to the 100-year, bro. The line was so long to get in, it went past the town line.
I'm still jealous you got to go to that because that sounded like a really good time.
That was just off that. That was just coming off of that hype of a good season, bro. Imagine a Super Bowl parade in Chicago.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, Super Bears.
You couldn't get in.
Dude, imagine Pony at the Super Bowl parade.
I don't know how you're gonna get down there, bro. Like it's gonna be a freaking mob scene.
Dude, Pony will barrel his way through blocks of traffic to get there.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be badass. It really would be.
We can dream, right?
Yeah,
anyway,
we just went all like nostalgic there. Like
you probably have to get there the night of. Just
camp
to get
out. Camp out.
No people in the park. No people in the park.
You'd almost have to like.
Is that your old man Chicago voice?
I don't know.
You almost have to like book your flight like months in advance to plan for that.
I'd drive.
I would pray I don't miss the flight again.
Bro, you trying to drive would be like that The Walking Dead when they're trying to get into Atlanta.
We drove to Bourbonnais on no sleep. I drove straight after work and went to the Bourbonnais.
I'm not driving. It'd be like 17 hours.
Oh, well, yeah. It's 5.5 for me, so.
Right. So if I had to take 17 hours after it happened, there's no way I would get anywhere near the city.
Sure. Sure.
It'd
All
be
right,
crazy.
score predictions for this game. Let's get that done.
Chair's like, fuck it, let's get on with it.
Cranky old bastard.
I am, fuckers.
All right. Well, I'll let Diddy go first.
24-10 Bears. I just think that they haven't really Giants haven't been putting up many points and against lesser defenses, in my opinion. Like I think our defense is, even though some of the talent isn't there because guys got hurt, but they're still putting pretty good effort in. And I think our offense is good enough to put up 3 touchdowns and a field goal. There's nothing like I'm not going to break it down. Unless you really want me to break it down play by play.
Yes.
No, I'm good, man. I just think 24-10, this is the most confident I've felt going into a game, and it doesn't really matter to me what quarterback's playing.
All right, Biscuits, your turn. You're up.
I think it's a good prediction by Diddy because the Giants have only put up 10 points once in 5 games since firing Jason Garrett. So good on Diddy. Really dug deep in those stats to make his prediction this week. I'm also going to go 27-9 Bears.
Diddy does it deep though.
That was really creepy.
Nice.
27-9.
27-9. All right. Well, here we go. Bears 28. Giants 26.
Man.
Carlos Santos from 45 yards for the win.
How did we get to that score, Jer?
I don't know. I said
Oh,
Carlos
yeah.
Santos for the win at 28. That didn't make any sense. Anyway, don't do math. Don't do math on this show.
How did they get to 25 points, Jerry? I feel like that's such a
Oh my God. Let's see.
Before the field goal.
Well, the coach analytics decides to go for 2 a lot, right?
A safety,
Yeah, safety, sure.
3 touchdowns. I don't know how you get to that.
2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions, and 3 field goals.
There you go. Thank you. That's why you're the smart guy.
Biscuits
You-
and math.
You should put money on that in Vegas, bro. Because if that shit happens, you're gonna win a lot of money.
The 26
No, I
points
just-
here. That's going to be a rough day for the defense, you think?
The one thing we can't do is stop the run. One thing they've got is a good running back if he's playing well, which,
Their backup's better than him right now.
yeah.
Yeah. But what he's saying, this is going to be the get-right game for Barkley.
It's been a get-right game for most offenses.
Yeah,
See
but this
Seattle.
offensive line's pretty bad, Jer.
We gave up 100 to Penny.
Oof.
Yeah, but the Giants' offensive line's pretty bad.
Seattle's is not very good either.
I wouldn't say it's Giants bad, but you're right. It's not good. I'd say the Giants is worse, though.
If we win, it'll be close.
I mean, I think, like you were saying, momentum, Jer. So we got our score predictions out there, but like I guess it's milestones for me at this point. And young guys, like the last game felt good. It felt good to get a W, but
Right.
You know.
but the guys that did it, like the Foles
Yeah.
and Graham, like I would rather seen it being our guys that we're going to be going forward with.
I would like
Yeah.
to have seen that.
Big
too. I
moments
mean,
for them would be important, and I'm not saying it would have happened. but-
Mooney was one of those bright spots. I think you could say that. Montgomery.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Mooney, I
Same.
wanted. So go ahead, Joey.
Oh, go ahead, man.
No, I'm just saying, like Mooney, I want to see hit 1,000 yards. That'd be cool. Like the milestones for the guys. I'd like to see Quinn. I'd like to see Quinn top his 19 career high sack year.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be dope for him to have his best season. Like that dude's still putting effort in, man. Like shit's going downhill, and that dude is still aggressive as fuck. I love it.
Yep.
You know, and
The
then
guy don't quit.
Best comeback season of any Bear that I can remember in my lifetime.
What about the soon-to-be captain, Alec Ogletree?
I was gonna say Roquan. He's already at like 149 tackles. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he's got a chance to break Urlacher's
Yep.
tackle record, doesn't he?
Yep.
He's beasting, man. Like I hope he those are, I want to see how many he finishes with because it's been pretty damn impressive. So I mean those are the kind of things I'm trying to like, the little diamonds I'm trying to get out of this.
Well, hopefully we get a few more this week. That'd be nice. Maybe get Colcomet in the end zone.
It's just you have to, for me to cope as a fan, like just looking for the little positives, even though it's not much. It's scraps, but it is what it is, man. Well, no, I want to see these guys like be able to hit goals and
Yeah.
that's important for them.
Well, besides Quinn, it's all young guys that you want to see take another step forward so we have a little bit more positive outlook in 2022. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I can't wait to
Momentum.
finally start getting real news, not people saying that they have connections and all this bullshit. Like, start finding out who they're really talking to.
Right.
Source season's
We're
about
on-
to kick into full gear.
Yeah, I mean,
Choose your weapon wisely.
I could definitely be wrong, but like some of the situations people are so hard set on, like the Saints sending us Peyton just because Pace used to know him. Like, why? Why would they want to do that?
Farted in a jar for him once.
Why would he, besides like being like a Illinois guy and like having some like deep connection to Chicago.
Ex-Bear.
I mean, yeah. Besides that whole aspect,
I know why they do it. If they're
why
really,
would Sean Payton want to do it? Why would
Mickey Loomis would want to do it? Because it would be pace, and he knows he's so fucking desperate that he'll give up probably the best draft pick scenario for Peyton than anybody else.
But does Mickey Loomis want to go head coach shopping when he's likely to be drafting a quarterback here? I mean, I don't know if they're. I still think they're taking a quarterback, even paying Taysom what they paid him.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, do you really want to go head coach hunting when you have a self-proclaimed quarterback guru as your head coach now when you're about to spend a high pick? Like,
Who has Sean Payton developed? That's what I keep
That's
going back
not-
on in my head.
that's fair. That's fair.
Let's not get it twisted. They didn't draft Drew Brees. They traded
No.
for Drew Brees.
They did not.
Drew Brees was an all-pro quarterback before he got there.
Drew Brees' numbers through 42 games were eerily similar to Mitch Trubisky's in the first 42 games. Coming off a major shoulder injury, was not the Drew Brees that we know now.
Look at
And the Chargers had just replaced him with a first-round pick. I mean, I think Sean Payton gets a little bit of credit for that. But the framework was already there, though.
Look up Brees' stats on San Diego.
Through the first 42 games, they are very, very similar to Mitch Trubisky.
It got better.
Sure, it got better. Absolutely. I think it's fair to question, is he solely responsible for Drew Brees the way the Patriots were for Tom Brady? I think there was a lot more development there in New England.
Well,
Of
development
course, in
comes
New
with
Orleans.
talent too, right?
Yeah.
You got talent here in New Orleans.
Haven't watched Drew play in college. Like,
Oh, I watched him firsthand. He's a fucking animal.
dude, he tore up Notre Dame. Not like
Yeah.
saying nobody can, because people do all the time. But I was just surprised. A Purdue quarterback. I'm like, who the fuck's this guy, man? Holy shit, he's little and he's nasty.
He did it, and then the guy we got did it. What the fuck was his name? The quarterback that was with Grossman. Come on,
Kyle Orton?
Kyle Orton.
Next-
Traded you guys for a while.
I mean, so he also got the most out of Teddy Bridgewater. That was easily the best, 6-game stretch of Teddy Bridgewater's career. Even in Minnesota. Dude, Minnesota was not that good, dude. From a stat perspective only, that 6-game run was easily his best.
From a stat perspective, I'll give you that, but
I'm not going to say
Minnesota
anything
team was
about
really good.
Jameis. I mean,
There's a
Jameis
lot more
was already
offensive talent on that team than the Minnesota team. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
100%. I do not deny that. 100%.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like, you have.
I
to
mean,
make,
I wouldn't trade picks for Peyton.
maybe you give him credit for Tony Romo because Romo was there when he was there, but he didn't play. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the NFL, the insiders know better than we do. So I just don't. I kind of wanted a rebuild, including Pace. Like,
Me too. I think there's 5 or 6 names I'd be more interested in before Sean Payton. If we're talking already current head coach, I'd take Mike Tomlin over Payton any day of the week.
right.
yeah, because I think Tomlin is a head coach that could definitely.
Tomlin didn't exactly
Well-
inherit a bad situation either.
Matt Canada was a bad choice, but
Talk about the other. What was the other offensive coordinator that came from Kansas City that they got and flamed out? And I can't think of people's names. Damn it! I see their faces. He's got a beard. And,
Was this the Saints?
no, I'm talking about Tomlin.
Oh, and
He had him
Pittsburgh.
with Roethlisberger, and
Oh,
Roethlisberger didn't get along at all.
Todd Hale.
Todd Haley.
Todd Haley.
Haley.
There you go. See,
Yeah.
I knew you piece it together, Jer.
It's fucking. It's a Rubik's cube in this head. Yeah, I mean that was an unsuccessful hire on his part.
Yeah, but he's been there 15 years and he's had a top 10 offense how many of those years? So I
I have
mean,
no idea.
I think you're I mean,
Ben Roethlisberger though, he's had him for that entire time.
yeah.
and then you bring up Leslie Frazier if he can bring Dorsey with him. So I ultimately, as long as there's a guy that can come in with a focus and get this team in the right direction, and if it's not an offensive mind, can put the right OC on his staff,
Right.
I'd be
That's
cool with
where-
that scenario too.
I want a head coach that just wants to be a head coach, and he'll let his OC do it. And
Isn't that such a weird shift that we've taken?
Well, Leslie Frazier, man, like I get it, right? I get the Minnesota stuff, but a lot of shit crumbled around him too.
Yeah.
Like they were in full rebuild mode on him.
right.
Like I don't know. I think Leslie. I'd rather have him here than Caldwell personally, but everybody's gonna have their opinions. It's not all gonna matter till we start hearing real names. So
Right.
it is what it is. Like
Now I've got one more topic to bring up because we talked about it before the pod started. Offensive Rookie of the Year. You made a great case, and I think people should hear it, about Najee Harris. Speaking of Pittsburgh.
Yep, and it is Najee was my guy. Like if we were staying at 22 and the quarterbacks were gone, that's the guy I wanted. I know I like Montgomery, but I just thought even just putting these two together would be insane. But
Right.
yeah, man, he's got 984 yards rushing. I think he has 6 touchdowns rushing, and then he has like 67 receptions for over 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, with this offensive
Could you
line,
imagine? Could you imagine if Monty had 67 receptions?
well, like, and the elite back in this league. I understand that like the flashes Monty shows, people have called him elite. I think he's like until proven otherwise, he's got some forte in him. He's more physical, but like he can catch and pass. He can get a lot of yards rushing, but he doesn't get in the end zone a lot like Forte. That's the comp, I guess. Like I like Monty a lot, and I think like a better O line, of course, he needs more carries. I get all that, but like a guy like Najee or a guy like Derrick Henry, where they can be slightly dominant with very bad O lines. Like that's. And the Bears O-line hasn't been great either. So, yeah, you put any of those guys at Monty or Harris. But I think Harris, for what he's done at the position with the O-line that he has in front of him,
Wow.
he would be my pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think Mac Jones has way more structure.
I did not know Jalen Waddle had 96 catches.
Like those stats I just brought up to you.
Wow.
Mac Jones is 18 touchdowns, 12 picks.
Right.
A little over 3,000 yards. I don't know if that's – to me, that's not more impressive than what Najee's doing with what he
Jamar Chase has got
Jamar
10 TDs, and he's got 1,000 yards.
That's a good argument too, man.
Going back to David Montgomery, did he? Like
Chase, I would give Chase that over him hearing that, Jer. So I'm just
Right.
saying Najee should be in the conversation after hearing that.
for sure,
Absolutely.
100%. I mean, he's probably he's like the only thing on that Pittsburgh offense that's working right now. So
Right.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. Just to go back on your David Montgomery point, so I think some of it, and I don't want to get into comparing him to Derrick Henry because Derrick Henry is just a different guy, but I think some of the David Montgomery issue though is also usage with his coaching staff, which we've talked about a lot. I mean, he's
Absolutely.
also, and I think he's a rhythm runner, and how many times does he, he rips off an 8 or 9 yard run and then boom, he's off on the sideline and Nagy's taking him out. So again, I'm not comparing him to Derrick Henry. He's not that type of guy, but I think he could be,
I'd be
I'm
happy
right.
as fuck if he was Forte, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think he has that little extra gear that Forte had speed
And
wise.
you might have that
did.
guy. You might have that guy
Beginning of the
behind him,
season.
though.
Matt
Yeah,
was
that-
deceiving though. Like
That little burst in the beginning of the season, though, before he got injured.
he did
You
look
might have-
faster. He did look faster
might-
coming out this year.
I'm just saying, you might have that
He's
guy
way more physical than
sitting
Forte.
behind him.
Herbert.
Yeah.
I mean, I think two different runners.
Obviously.
I think Tariq's gonna be tough sledding for him coming back because, like, I like the fact that they replaced him with 2 guys. You don't need that guy to be your 2 and your kick returner. You have that now in
Yeah.
the kick returner and the punt returner, and in your running back room. So like that's kind of a good thing.
Right.
But
I
I
think
don't
it's
know,
good.
man.
But Jakeem has been, I think, better in that role though.
I do too.
Tariq was
Seriously,
dancing kind of a little bit too much in that backfield at times instead of
Plus,
just
team
going,
don't go out of bounds either. Sorry.
Jakeem's also a receiver by trade.
Right.
yeah, that's fair.
So you're getting that too, where like you can Herbert, you just run him.
He's straight up. He's fearless. He is fearless when he touches the ball. He's fearless when he catches a punt. Tariq Cohen is not fearless.
Herbert
Sorry.
runs
That's a
pretty
good point,
fearless,
Jer. I
too.
agree with you. You said Herbert what?
Runs fearless.
Yeah, going through the hole, he definitely does.
So I think the defensive rookie of the year is pretty much sewn up. That's Micah Parsons, unless somebody drops dead. Even then, I mean, Micah Parsons is obviously defensive player of the rookie of the year.
Oh, you saw it on. I mean, you saw it right out of college. Everybody knew he was that dude.
Yeah.
He was my favorite defensive player in the draft. Not that my opinion matters much, but like we look into it a little bit, and I just.
I mean, I think he's in talks for defensive player of the year, not just.
I would say so. I would say so. And it's well justified, and I hate the Cowboys too, but that is what it is. So
no, you saw it in college, oh man, the nose for the ball that kid has, and the speed and the technique. Like he was very polished coming out. Like
right.
You don't.
He hasn't had a lot of lows either. Not like the Dallas rookie who has 12 picks, but has also given up the most yards. Micah Parsons has been consistent the entire year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap this bad boy up, shall we?
Sure, man. We did our damn thing. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. If you drink, don't drive, have a sober driver.
If you do edibles, don't get on a podcast.
If you do edibles, prepare. Have food ready. Plenty of water.
Water. What?
Beverage. Whatever beverage you choose.
Triscuits for
Pepsi.
And you get some Triscuits for the biscuits.
Yeah.
I waited till
terrible, bro.
I waited till he started drinking.
Triscuits. I don't know anybody who eats Triscuits and likes them. Those things are the driest fucking snack. I think
you should love them.
No, dude, not like dry
crackers.
Like that's where I draw the line of dry.
I used to like Wheat Thins. Like
those Wheat Thins, all right. Yeah, Wheat Thins are good. The ranch ones.
Or those Stacy Pita chips.
I don't know about that. I'm not that fancy like you. I don't shop at Whole Foods. And
you could dip those bad boys in hummus. Yeah.
Oh, dude, no hummus, disgusting.
Garlic hummus is banging, bro.
Nah, I'd rather dip it in like queso cheese dip with bacon.
That sounds good too.
Yeah, right. Hey, Jared,
not at my ripe old age.
Let me and Jared handle the food talk, okay?
No.
I don't do dairy like I used to, boys. Like
he doesn't want to be lumped in with my food.
No, I've watched your steak takes. No, thank you.
Queso dip hits different coming out. You know what I mean?
I do love making that.
I forgot the lactose for you. I forgot about that.
No, just even the spiciness. But I like jalapeno, so whatever.
My queso dip would blow your asshole out. There ain't no doubt.
Chair.
Jesus, chair.
It would.
So will that pizza casserole.
I was trying to be all.
You got experience in that, bro.
Well, that's because you're not used to food. Oh, wow. You cook everything out of meat. There's nothing left. It's literally rubber shoe. Here, have a hockey puck.
Dude, I think it was
You're eating hockey pucks.
Bread you made me put on the biscuit crust. I think that's what did it. I think
Can you imagine Jared doing a food podcast? Man, I'll make a queso dip so good it blow your asshole out.
Like your mama.
That's what we call here in Indiana quesadilla. Okay.
Tell you what.
Queezadilla. Get it right.
Queezadilla.
Queso dip so good I'll make you my girlfriend.
Oh, shit. All right. Let's end this thing before it gets too far. Please.
That's just another episode of The Tailgate Show.
Duh. Draft pick game.
The Zooyork versus the Cinnamon Cannon. The fuck are we doing, guys? God damn.